Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Hearts of Wulin, Numberless Secrets. This is a mystery-oriented version of Hearts of Wulin, and we are in the middle of our mystery. This is the second arc for this series. We did a few other cases last time. We've got some returning characters and a new character, and we are taking up in the midst of things. We are going to be setting up the facets for our mystery today. I'll talk about what those are, and we'll get to that kind of process of doing investigations. But we still got a lot of NPCs to meet and so on. One of the things I did to kind of make it a little bit easier for all of you is on the NPC tab. I marked out some of the NPCs that nobody has talked to directly yet. They are marked with yellow box under connection, just so that we can establish who has and who hasn't been talked to in terms of that, just to give you an aid on that. Did anyone get an advance last time? Sherry, I thought, but Sherry, you are changing a move though, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Do you want to tell us about what you're changing to?
sure. Um, so I picked, oh, I'm sure I can find it one of these days. Uh, it's a move that's like from the Fantastic one, but essentially I read it and said, okay, I can do this. So it's when you use your techniques to read the world, you can study to uncover events and details from even the distant past related to a scene or object. So I decided to call it Once Upon a Time and Great Uncle's Stories or his journals, that sort of thing. It's just that I have had an entire childhood full of the old man's stories of things, and I know his all of his books. I've read all of his journals, and because I can read the encrypted stuff. So it's I just have all of these stories of all the places and the things that he's done, and at
Books and
my
texts and tomes and things that you can
pull
remember that
in
you've
from,
read.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Awesome.
like read them so much that I don't remember reading them, that they're just part of like dreams, and maybe that happened to me. I don't know
Yes.
from when I was a child. So
Uh, Excellent. That sounds great. So we are. I do want to check in once more. I'm going to do this every couple of sessions. Is everyone cool with their entanglements as they stand? Okay. We'll check in every couple of sessions. Remember that those entanglements are potentially evolving things. I don't think we've had anything dramatic. So, in terms of changing, let's talk about the mystery map. So, our case complexity is 8. We have a
ooh,
mystery map. I've pulled that up. I have, there might possibly be a fourth facet, either that we find or that somebody creates in play. But the three facets right now are the murder. And if there's another murder, then it'll be the murders. That'll be the first facet. The second is death in the House of Songs 15 years ago. That whole thing with that fire and the death of Silver Flute and all of that. And then the next one is these split robberies. Like that's their connection. Are they connected? Are they not connected? Like that's the third facet. And then we've got kind of an open facet if we find something that we want to add to that. So last time you all went to the Golden House of Songs to investigate. I'm going to come back to talk about that. I do need to check this in because sometimes this happens. Does anyone have a start of session move? I think Tyler does.
I
Ty,
do not.
Ty, uh, do you have the face to fate, right? Okay,
Yes, yes.
so let's have you roll that.
All righty. Let me get that roll in here. Two dice. Roll it. I got a 6.
That is a 6. So you've got that to throw in. With a good stat, it could be a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could take a miss and get yourself an XP. This
Oh,
is
that's
always a
true.
possibility. So last time went. This is the day before ceremony. Master Gongxi Banshan invited you. You attended, kind of split up a little bit to kind of investigate around and see what you could find out. Talked with a number of interesting NPCs that were from both Master Banchan's entourage or relations, and then also people from Moon Petal Springtime Troop. And you saw at least one person, two people here, Grave of Saints and Songbird Jun, that were kind of returning characters. Jun being a character who comes from a clan of assassins and who's clearly trying to, be a little sneaky here. And Grave of Saints, who's from a sword alliance and who had an interesting conversation with, is it Azumel there? Okay. With the Green Mountain Scholar, Blue Mountain Scholar.
Okay, yes.
And then after several interactions, the evening going on, the beautiful performances, all of that, Chow Lin saw that a number of the servants were clearly disturbed by something. And when Chow Lin went to see what had happened, the servants had apparently seen a sword left there in a back servants' hallway that Chow Lin recognized as belonging to Jade Sword Sage, a swordsman hired by the house, who was clearly there as a guard, but had been behaving kind of squirrely earlier on, kind of also trying to stay out of sight. And uh, found when they took the path upstairs, went to an upper floor through sort of a back stairs. They found a door leading up and outside that was kind of open, and there was some water on the inside. And when they went out, they looked at a flash of lightning and they saw the body of Jade Sword Sage on the roof there. And they brought his body down and could see that he was quite dead. And there are mysterious cat scratches apparently on his face. And I believe that is kind of where we left off. I would like to hard frame, if I may, to the opening of this next episode, where we see the body. It's on that kind of landing, and all of our detectives have been assembled. There's still the sound of music and things going on downstairs. So you haven't necessarily yet informed Ban Shan, but you have the opportunity, like, to observe and check. Let me tell you a couple of things that you will definitely notice. I think this may be part of your first question. You will look at the body, and the scratches, it's hard to tell whether they were done after death or before. Part of it is, of course, being out in the rain that has washed a lot of that. There is a bruise on the neck that suggests to you a strike not by a weapon, but by someone with a skilled martial technique, striking at that nerve cluster there in the neck, and quite possibly paralyzing them a little, which may mean how they were able to move them upstairs without too much trouble or noise. There might be some more to check into that, but that's the basic, like, cause of death that we will see here. So Chow Lin and Blue Mountain Scholar, you're the two who found it. So I want to kind of start with you two, and then we'll kind of come to the other. So Chow Lin, what are you saying? What are you doing? What are you looking at here as we come in?
I think I want to, like, look around on the roof and see if I can find any signs of what might have happened. Any tracks?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think one of the things you will definitely see is that uh, there is a like piece of tapestry that has been kind of wrapped and rolled up, and it looks like someone put that on him and used it to pull him up onto the roof.
Okay.
So they didn't carry him. They used kind of a pulley to do that. And I think if you check downstairs around on the landing, you will see a place where there's clearly a gap from one of the
Okay.
fine
Yeah.
tapestries that
Okay.
has been used. Does that seem like a reasonable thing?
Yes.
Blue Mountain Scholar, what about you?
I think that it makes sense to look at the body of this poor fellow. Um, let's see here. He was the security guard, Jade Sword Sage. So yeah, just to see like when he got attacked or anything. What did he have? Did he have anything with him, or did he have any chance to, I don't know, grasp at something? You know, I'm gonna check like his fingernails, what's in his hands, what he might have had as a last opportunity to do anything. Um,
Interesting. So you know that his sword was out on the ground, and I think you will see without a roll that his hand is kind of still in a sword grip.
okay,
So he must have had his blade out, though the angle of that strike suggests that the person who did this came up behind them and struck them.
okay,
So he must have been on his alert for some reason. He must have seen something. Otherwise, he wouldn't have drawn his sword out. But he was taken unawares.
all right.
Does
Let's
that seem
see.
fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Bao Shi?
Yeah. Well, while Blue Mountain is checking the body, I suppose I will rifle through his pockets.
Uh, you will find he has some coin. You can see that he was clearly paid a bit for this. I think one of the other things you'll find is he has like a travel pass document given for travelers. Uh, when they're moving from city to city with the possibility of resettling,
Mm.
and he very clearly is fairly newly arrived in Stonegate. Like he only came to the city like 5 6 days ago. Uh,
And we know he is he security for the Golden Palace, or is he security for the troop?
he is security for Golden House of Songs. I think as
Okay.
you kind of look, he will have a very basic token of authority here in the household. There, I think you'll also see that he has, he had some wine, so he's not he's not wasn't fully sober, but not enough that would make you think that he was perhaps drunk. Does that seem
Interesting.
fair?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Song Da.
Um,
That's the howling of the winds outside, by the way. That's just when we hear our sirens, that's what's going on.
very angry wind.
Yes.
Um, Songda is gonna pull out his notebook where he'd been like taking notes about the setup of everything and his encounters at the in the Golden House of Song, and flip back through the last couple of pages. And I'd like to ask my smiling proud wanderer free study question.
Sure, please.
As near as I can figure out, who's the last person that he was talking to? Jade Sword Sage.
So one of the things is you don't kind of know what the timeline is of what was going on, but the last person that you would have seen him speaking to was a costumer woman. You saw her moving around from the Moon Petal troupe named Ning Yuan. It struck you because she had been talking with Impermanent Saint, and Jade Sword Sage came over and kind of interrupted, and almost like deliberately kind of sent Impermanent Saint on his way. That was the last kind of observation. So that was a little unusual to you. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, he'll like close the notebook and pat it sort of before putting it back in his tunic there, and head off towards where he'd seen some of the like backstage stuff for the Moon Petals being set up.
Okay. So you head on down. Iron Lotus, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think like Iron Lotus watched everyone take in the situation, and after Master Baoshi was like going through the pockets and everything, I think Iron Lotus is going to do that like slow down detective thing and really like study the situation. I think in particular he's because we know that the body was like paralyzed in some way. So like, did the killer leave anything incriminating, or like at least like where to go next? So I think I'm really studying and taking my time.
So
That
let's
makes sense.
this feels like we're kind of moving out of kind of establishing basics to actually doing that study roll. What do you want to roll that with?
Yeah, I think like it feels like it has to be metal, because like he's really calculating, reflecting, um blonde woman meme formula, kind of like
Absolutely.
animated GIF, right? So
Roll with a +2.
yeah, okay, so let me I had to switch to Chrome. Ugh. Okay, all right, rolling with a +2.
So
Ooh, a
that
13.
is a 13.
Nice.
So
Okay,
on a 12 plus, you get 3 hold. And
Ooh.
you will see that there are various options there with that.
Yeah.
Asking study questions is 1 hold. At getting a clue is 2 hold. Getting a clue and rewriting or modifying a facet is 3 hold.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm so tempted, but like we just got the mystery facets. I'll leave them alone for now. So but I'll definitely get the clue with the first 2 hold.
Okay. So one of the things that you will notice on him is that the way he carries himself and the way the kind of the markers and things like that, you suspect that he knows, like he's a like yourselves, like some of you, a Zhang who that he knows iron shirt technique. Like there's just the way that you see on the skin, the marks on him that show that, which is the ability to kind of brace yourself to turn away near mortal blows with your flesh.
Ooh.
So conventional weapons, swords and things like that, if Jade Sword Sage was prepared or aware, could probably turn away the first few blows if they did not, clearly target his, hidden meridians or things like that. Does that seem like a fair answer?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You've still got a hold that you could spend on asking a question or making a declaration.
I'm gonna ask. Let's see. I guess, like, why move the body up here? Like, go through all the trouble of the pulley system, right? Instead of like dragging them somewhere else, instead of leading him. Like, why go through that trouble?
I think you'll kind of realize clearly he was killed in that servants' corridor, given that the sword is there. And it is a place that the servants go back and forth through. And if it had been left on that level, there's no good place to hide it. And clearly, once the decision had been made to hide it, take the action to hide it, moving the person up with paralysis, they wanted to make sure that they could conceal it and probably have time to dry themselves off.
Yeah. Right. So it was really probably not like super planned, or something went wrong. And so I word all of this and by saying like, yes, you're right, Master Baoshi, right? Like, I'm trying to make it like it's Master Baoshi who has like come up with everything, and I'm just following his lead, right? Is what I'm doing. So, but I basically share this with everyone.
Master Baoshi, give me how that interplay looks there. Do you think when Iron Lotus is presenting it in this way to you?
I think my guess is that Iron Lotus knows me well enough that a couple of like leading questions will put me into the right track, and then it can be just yes, oh, and I see, and that leads me down the path that Iron Lotus is already ahead of me on. And it's, I imagine that my ego, as well as the fact that I'm used to us working this way, keeps me from kind of noticing that I'm being handheld through.
I think that is absolutely perfect there. And I think that as you all are kind of standing around there, you see a couple of servants have approached, and they've seen the five of you, and they've seen the body, and they're like, oh, gasp, and they're kind of standing there, like, and one of them will say, shall I fetch Master Gongxi? It says, an accident of some kind?
You should indeed get your master, and please keep this very, very quiet.
All right. So now, I actually want, yes.
Do we know what was the cause of death? Have we found the cause of death?
That bruise there seems like a strike of some kind, a paralytic strike that is a death blow.
Was a death blow. Okay, so paralytic and death blow.
Yeah. So you would like to keep this quiet, right, Master Baoshi?
That's the hope.
I think that is hearts and minds.
All right.
Because servants gossip.
Yeah. That'll probably be with. Well, it's my presence, so let's go with Earth.
Okay.
Not a good one, but that's what it would be. Oh, that is very bad.
So the good news is you get to mark XP.
Woo-hoo.
and they do definitely are agree with you. But I think the next moment you hear is, "What is going on here?" And you'll look up and you will see that in the midst of this, Master Gongshi Banshan has arrived, and he is loud and he is making a scene. Everyone can hear him. And there are a couple of like honored guest entourage there who are behind and are and Gongshi looks, and he'll approach the closest person, Yu Chaolin, and will say, "What is happening?"
Uh,
Is he
wanna try
dead?
to- Yes, he is dead.
What was it? An accident? A fall? Something that I can't be blamed for?
I think I glance at so do I know that Balshi wants to keep this quiet?
Oh, Baoshi has been trying to like was trying to talk to the servants to keep this quiet, but
Okay.
everyone has heard a hue and a cry up here at this point.
Right. I was just
Banshan
wondering if I want to
has a
say
good
that it was an
indoor
accident.
voice.
Right. So yeah, no, I'm afraid it was not an accident. He clearly has been murdered.
You say murder. That is a word with a strong association. Would you say that with a certain amount of certainty, or certain that he was murdered?
It's very unlikely that someone would hit him at this exact point accidentally and then hide the body.
You'll excuse me. Turns to you, Blue Mountain Scholar. Could I get a second opinion?
And I sort of stop and I go, it wouldn't be a different one? But and
Damn you, detectives!
And I say, I am very sorry. I will go and speak with the troop. I think that this is their man. Yes?
Oh, no. He's a traveling swordsman that I hired.
Oh,
He's part of our guard entourage. Perhaps, here's a scenario. Perhaps he was up here and he came across one of those burglars, like have been attacking in town, and they set to, and he was killed trying to defend everything. And so the burglar ran off, and no one is in threat or peril or of any kind.
certainly that could be
See?
the situation.
But probably isn't. As I believe he was attacked inside.
That doesn't preclude a burglar, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm going to go downstairs and tell everyone that one of the guardsmen was killed by a burglar, but nothing is to worry about.
And he sort of stops and goes, well, I suppose that's your choice, Master Bangshi.
So understand that while my heart aches for the loss of any human life, this is but a guard that I hired. And this is an event.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we can keep this relatively.
We were certainly trying to do that, yes.
Good. We're on the same page. Excellent. And he will turn around and go to head downstairs to tell people that there's nothing to worry about. I know I said murder, but Iron Lotus, let's come to you now after as this figure takes off.
Ooh. Yeah. I think I'm going to give Master Baoshi like a significant look and be like, yes, Master, I'll go ahead. As we discussed, we haven't. You know. And I'm gonna follow our host, right, and see like how people respond specifically to the news, right? If there's anything that stands out. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So you'll head down and follow. Let me check in with Song Da, and then we'll kind of resolve that move. Song Da, you see Iron Lotus kind of heading off to follow at a discreet distance behind Master Gongxi. What do you do?
So I've been going to look for that costume.
Excellent. So let's do you two downstairs, and then we will come back upstairs and figure out things. So let's start with Song, and then we'll do Ironless. So Song Da, you will come downstairs as you're hearing Master Gongxi kind of drawing the attention of various people, you know, the important people, and saying, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about. There's been an incident. A burglar was broke in and was caught by my swordsman, and unfortunately he was killed. But he drove the burglar off," kind of thing. So nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. We'll hire more guards for tomorrow's event. No need to worry. No need to worry. And you'll definitely see that the troop kind of like there's a bit of them kind of like coalescing a little bit. Uh, and you can see that a costumer woman there.
I'm gonna come up to her and say, "Excuse me, do you have a moment?"
Uh, yes.
I was just, and he'll hold out his notebook. I've been making notes for the grand opening. You know, writing something truly monumental about this historic occasion and the grandiosity of the performances and the over-the-top opulence, all that sort of thing. And I've really been admiring the uh, silks that the performers have been wearing. The Mr. Hugh Yaoshi had very they felt very soft and flowing.
Mhm.
It's really good work. I was just wondering if you had thought of extending your skills to the rest of the staff of the Golden House. You know, to give a sort of uniform overall look to everything.
Oh, no, I am I'm the person who does the patching and the upkeep and repairs. Many of the costumes and outfits that the troop wears are very old, passed down. I repair and I do some creations, but it is very minor. That it is you see too much of my that my handiwork is merely in the
Oh well, surely not something extravagant like one of the amazing and historical costumes that your troupe carries and that you so expertly maintain. But you know, something simpler. Just like take the guardsmen for instance. Their colors are just completely clashing with what's happening with the performers. If you thought about maybe just like a simple overcoat for them, do you have any sort of like say in what the guardsmen are doing?
no. Uh, I the they do not work for the troop.
Oh, you really should suggest it to someone. I think the whole aesthetic look of everything.
That is not my place.
I think you do yourself a disservice. I mean, look at the state of these. So did you hear about that poor guardsman?
No, is that what the uh uh gathering over there is about?
Oh, yes. Apparently there was some sort of incident with Jade something.
I take it we want to do a study roll at this point, probably, right?
Yes, I would like to try and get something out of this rock.
Absolutely. What do you want to roll that with?
Hmm. I think this is wood. I think this takes a level of patience from him to keep trying and getting nothing.
Sure.
That thingy, some stuff. That's 7.
Okay. So on a 7, that's 1 hold or 2 hold with a cost.
Let's see. Let's do 2 hold.
Okay. You want to ask a question?
I
Make a
want to
declaration?
I want to gain a clue.
Okay. I think that while you are talking to her, you will notice that she's tried to clean it off a bit, but she does have some mud on her shoes. That doesn't necessarily mean that she was upstairs, but clearly she's been outside at least in the last couple of hours. Does that feel like a fair thing?
All right.
And I think that as you are kind of like watching that, there suddenly is this figure that pops up next to you, and you will see this white-haired, beautiful young man who goes, "Why are you spending time with my useless sister?"
Well, I was admiring her work.
She has things to do. Cha 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 cha. And he does that. And he actually kind of whacks her with a fan, and she's like, yes, and she will scuttle off. And she's like, "Who are you?"
I'm Song Da of the Bureau of Legends. I'm here to record this legendary event.
"Well, then go and talk to people who matter."
Oh, well, then I shall leave you alone.
Wait. I guess how you did there.
Did you? I wasn't sure if that would. So
I think you can tell that he has taken a dislike to you immediately. Does that feel like a fair enough cost?
I think that's fair.
Okay. Iron Lotus, you will see Master Gong. She gathers around the people. You'll see Sky's daughter and the various troops. People kind of brings people to a stop, and he tries to say this in such a way that everyone can keep partying. There's no need to worry. Like there's this is all good. This is not going to stop anything. But I do think that you see a number of like the merchant guests and things like that. Like they are are gesturing for their servants to come and get their umbrellas and things like that. But we'll see everyone tomorrow, right? It's just that would be good. Excellent. Yes. We'll look forward to seeing you. And you definitely see he kind of puts that Duan Su into kind of damage control mode. She's going around, saying goodbyes to everyone, and they as they kind of head out, it does look like his aunt, Lady Gongxi, is looking on and kind of shaking her head and sucking her teeth. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do here?
I think I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to use hearts and minds to try to enhance a misunderstanding between people.
Okay.
As is my, unfortunately, what Iron Lotus is inclined to do.
What do you want to do here?
Yeah. So in particular, I go up behind Lady Gongji and I mimic one of the voices of the merchants who were leaving. And I say, how can we trust in a business like this one? Surely if they can't even keep their own affairs in order. I'm really trying to push her to get into some sort of confrontation with and I'm doing this just to see how people are gonna react. If there's any leads we can follow from here. I do feel a little bad for Duan Su.
So why don't you roll that? What do you want to roll that with?
I'm gonna roll. I think this feels very watery. I'm doing this while keeping my eyes open. I'm trying to be aware of how everyone is I'm paying attention to everyone in the room and how they're responding. So I'm gonna roll with a +2. Let's see how it goes. 7.
So that is a 7.
8 in total. Yeah.
So let me look at hearts and minds.
Yeah.
I think that you will hear them raise their voice and call over their nephew, and kind of like her voice cuts through here, and she goes, precisely what is happened here. And he proceeds to tell her, and she keeps stopping him, and she goes, is that what the detective that you brought said? Is it, what precisely did they say? And she's like, this is what you get for bringing unqualified swordsmen in to guard the place. And this is what I know from experience, is when you bring a detective to a place, that is when a murder happens. It is a law of this world. And how many detectives did you bring here? Oh, there's a historian, there's 2 detectives, and there's a friend of the detective and an assistant to the detective. So conservatively 2, and at most 5. Do you know how much that increases the chance of someone dying here at this event? Do you think it's going to stop with just 1 guard? No. If you had not already invested so much of your parents' wealth in this, I would say that you should cancel this. Oh, no, I can't do that, can't do that. You are lucky, she says, that I am fond of this performing troupe. It's the only bright spot in this, what promises to be a hellscape of a weekend. Does that feel like a fair hearts and minds? reaction there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like disappear back into the shadows.
Yeah, and I believe that I think you get to mark XP for doing that at the end of the session, don't you?
I
Can't remember.
do, I do.
Yeah.
If it's like someone's entanglement, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that he's tied up with her, and I think you'll be able to mark the XP for that. Let's come back up to Bao Shi, Blue Mountain Scholar, and Chao Lin. Iron Lotus and Song Dao have kind of con to follow up on what's happening on the ground floor. Bao Shi, you want to start with you?
Sure. I'll look over at the other two. It seems likely to me that you don't go out of your way to isolate a guard and kill them without either a reason for vengeance upon that particular guard, or a desire to infiltrate the place they're guarding. My guess is that we now have a murderer inside the building.
Well, we also have a murderer who's gone to some pains to make it look like one of the ghost stories that we heard from the builder, the Black Cat.
I suppose it is possible that it was actually a ghost.
Yeah.
I jest.
Okay. And he sort of stops and goes, certainly, they took that time to do that, so they have some interest in maybe those sorts of rumors going around? Some knowledge of it?
Yes, and I imagine that, well, to some extent, those are wide-known rumors.
Are they?
Well, legend,
Do you
it is
think
something...
that the troop would have heard of them?
That I can't say for sure, but amongst them they have tale-tellers, and ghost stories are often used for exciting tales, so it would not be surprising.
All right, so you think that at some point the builders told the stories and this troop has heard them, is what you are saying?
I think that the people around here know of them. That's one of the reasons that no one came and would vandalize the place. The architect spoke about that while there was a groundskeeper to sort of watch over it, most people didn't come here simply because they were afraid of the ghost stories.
But are those people the people that are here tonight?
So it seems like that's a question that you want to answer. Blue Mountain Scholar is
correct. Correct is like, who knows this story that they would choose that particular thing.
That feels like a study move here.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, I will make that study. I will start with the servants, and then to sort of the staff, the sort of support staff of the performers, to get a sense of which of these groups know these stories. Typically, I always think of it is if the servants know it, it's been passed on to everyone else. So that would be my way of working through that. So I will roll with my patience, because I think that's the one. So focus, presence, patience, that kind of thing. So is that, so that's my earth. Okay. So rolling 2d6 and adding 3.
Okay.
So that gives me a 10.
So 10 is a 2 hold.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
Ooh. I wouldn't mind a clue, but I don't know if there's one that fits this thing. But if you have something specifically about the stories or something.
So you either ask questions, or I give you a clue that you will pick up, and maybe not have your question answered.
All right, that's fine. I will take the clue.
Okay. I think that you find yourself moving around through the servants' quarters. You kind of vanish back there. You're talking to them. and I think that the troop is also staying here in areas here, and I think maybe you wander over there, and I think that they have with them various people who are prepare food and do all that kind of things. And you will see there in one of the rooms, there's a teapot that has been brought there, and I think gets you as a kind of an odd smell to it. And you move over and kind of, lift up the cup, have a sniff at it, kind of an odd smell. And you will see that kind of fall into the floor is one of those yellow packets that you'll kind of look at. It doesn't say who it's for, but it is a prescription for essentially Coral Valley glass, which is a name of an herb that is very potent and is usually prescribed as a last-ditch desperate attempt to fight off very terminal illnesses. It's almost a poison to kind of fight what's going on in their body. It would be difficult to poison someone with it, so it's not that, but it's definitely someone in the troop is taking this, and someone in the troop is probably not going to be alive in a few months.
Okay.
Does that seem like a fair clue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think to myself, oh, this stuff smells horrible. I mean, not as bad as licorice.
No,
But
no.
it smells bad.
But it's like the ghost of licorice.
Yes. Another kind of horrible.
Yes.
Okay.
Bao Shi, Blue Mountain Scholar, kind of heads off to check on that with the folk tales. What do you, and then we'll check in with Shaolin, want to do?
I think that we had the body get taken up. It was on the roof. When they described when they found it, it was just left up there, or had it been staged like it was placed up there to be found or to be hidden? What would be the assumption?
So clearly, whoever did it, and you can see this from the bruising under the arms of the body, a little bit. So not long after death, or right when they died, to the big bruising, they wrapped that cord around the shoulders, threw it up around one of the perches, and pulled the body up. It wasn't a great place to hide, but it definitely got it out of the way, and there was no reason to think that anybody would come up onto the roof. So this might not have been found for a while.
Then the place to look would be where the murder took place. So I'm going to go back to where that lower part of the pulley and where we found the sword, or where the sword was found.
Absolutely. You will see that the servants have scrubbed it clean because there was a little bit of blood there.
Ugh. But I hope there is something still to be found as I begin looking through, checking as you said, behind, kind of, you move a tapestry aside, it's where it had the exit that they pulled them up to the roof.
Sure,
I'm going to give a look-see there.
Let's have you make a roll for me. What do you want to roll this with?
I think this is going to be by water, awareness and wisdom and all of that.
Okay.
So, rolling. I'm going to replace that with my 6 to give myself a 7.
Okay. So you've got one hold. What is the question that you want to ask? Or declaration that you want to make?
Well, I don't have a great declaration, I don't think. but I'm kind of stuck for questions. So I will make a declaration. I'm going to make a declaration.
Sure.
I think that we see that in the process of having to pull them up, that it is clear that there were counterweights that had to be used. So the person who did the hauling would not have been strong enough to just pull it up themselves. They had to use had to have a weight or had to pull and then tie off, pull and then tie off. So it moves us towards a person who just is a less robust person, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The possibility still exists that it is somebody covering for it, or it's someone using a technique. But I think that seems fair. That definitely they had to make the pole with this thing up and get some additional lift for it. That seems fair.
Okay, cool.
Shaolin, what about you?
I want to see if anybody saw someone taking that tapestry down.
Let's have you make that roll.
Let's see here. I'm asking around about this, and I think let's see, is this I think this is water.
Okay.
So it's 12.
Yeah, okay. So you've got 2 hold.
Cool. I think I'll go ahead and gain a clue.
Okay. I think that one of the things you'll see, like you go and you ask people and talk to them, and nobody particularly saw who did this. But I think one of the things you'll see in a couple of places up here on this landing and maybe in a couple other spots heading up, that there's that kind of, beautiful post woodwork. And you will see that there are in several places in different levels and things like that, there is like indentations like of a fine wire or a tight line cutting in to the wood there in a couple of places, like maybe to lift something, maybe to bind something that is around, and you can see those notches in several different places. Maybe to lift, but I mean, why would they do that when they had? I mean, why would they go to use the cloth to lift it when they had these string things? So very strange. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of strange threads and threadings would be the particular clue for that.
Okay, so the clue is threads.
Yeah, the threading marks on wood, I think, would be the actual clue.
Okay. And is that a clue?
That's a
Or
clue, right? Because
right.
you spent 2 hold, Sheldon. Okay. And everybody make sure you mark down the clues that you set, just so we have that recorded. Let's take our first break. Let's take 10, and then we will come back, okay? So, in classic sort of mystery series style, I think there is the kind of, we're going to kind of hard frame a little bit forward, you know. There is the finishing out of this evening. Officials are called to, the yanmen are called to take the body away to the coroner's office, and so on, and a report is made, and we will see Master Gongxi saying, very, I do hope you'll be here tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. I would like to talk to some of you maybe tomorrow during the day, about maybe, is this related to the threats, that kind of thing. But I think he does, like, after he's a little bit shaken by his conversation with his aunt. He does move people out. So what I'd like to do is we'll move forward to the next day, and I want to do a go around and let everybody call a scene with a PC, with an NPC, going and talking to people around town, or from the troop during the day, or other people, or talking to other PCs. And let's do that once or twice to kind of open that up. So, Blue Mountain Scholar.
Huh. I think I will, after the whole thing about the multiple detectives being bad luck for murders during the thing, I think I will send around a note to, Master Gongxi, and say, I understand that your aunt was not pleased with 2 detectives, so I will step aside. There are many things for me to look into for the threats outside of the event. Would you mind if I sent my niece instead? I'm sure she would love to be at such an event. And then I will assume he'll say yes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
my plan is essentially that I will go in the evening, as Janai. But
So what do you want to do during the day, and who do you want to do it as?
um, let's see here. See, that's a lot. You should go to someone else, because now I have, it's that whole thing of I've got to juggle my personas and what they can be seen doing, and it's very difficult.
Iron Lotus, let's come to you.
Speaking of juggling personas, yeah.
Yes,
Who do you wish to talk to? You've got some entanglement, potentially NPCs, or you could do some detective work, or what would you like?
Yeah, I think I want to check in on Songda, not because I want to make sure he's not caught up with Hu Yaoshi or anything like that, not at all. So, but
I think to make it properly, I think you head over there early in the morning. And I think that we, of course, have that shot of, you knock on the door, you announce yourself, and kind of maybe throw it open a little too soon, and we see Song Da has just gotten out of the bathtub. Does that seem fair, Song Da?
Ah! He falls over. It's a sound of thumping and splattering around as you close the door again.
And I close it really strongly. Apologies, Songda. I can.
It's fine. Oh, that's the problem. It's fine. It's just give me I need to, and he slips and you hear a thump again.
And I think, like, I notice instinctively opens the door out of concern and closes it again. If I could assist,
No, it's
I'm
I
so
can
sorry.
dress I've put on clothes. I know clothes.
Yes, yes, you look very good in clothes. Clothes look very good on you. Clothes are
Uh,
yes,
Thank you.
fabric. Yes.
I'm trying to. Yes, if you just give me a. I enjoy clothes as well. You look nice today. I think. I'm sorry, I didn't get much of a look at you. I don't know why I said that.
Yes, yes. Last night people were also wearing clothes. Yes. Did you how did you feel about last night? That's why I came to check in on.
I think the door will like whoosh open again, and he's standing there, and his robe is sort of askew, and his hair is still wet and just like hanging everywhere, and just what? Who wasn't wearing clothes last night?
No, I mean I think everyone was fully
What?
clothed
Oh,
last
sorry. I
night.
thought I heard it. You didn't say.
I mean I heard about you getting close to someone, meeting someone last night.
Oh, yes, that was awkward.
Oh, that's good. I mean, awkward.
It just very. I don't know if I really felt like we connected well.
Oh, that's good. Yes, connections can be difficult. Right.
Well,
Right.
I
And like
was really
I
hoping
come
that
in and like fixing your hair, like out of habit, like I do for Master Baushi, right? To like get him ready.
I was just really hoping that the costumer would be able to shed some more light on what's going on backstage, but she just wouldn't say anything.
Oh, the costumer. Yes, that's who I was talking about. Yes, the costumer. Yes, that was. She did seem a little out of place from what I could gather. I thought you were handling that very well, very detective-like,
Oh,
Songda.
thank you. I've been, I've been trying to soak up everything I can from Master Baoshi.
Right, soak up, I say, like, and I look for a towel to like dry more of your hair. Say that.
So, what did you think of the performers? I think they're pretty fabulous.
Yes, I think like Iron Lotus stops for a moment and says, I do believe in the art of performance, but it can be tiring to keep performing. Don't you think? Isn't it nice to be
I don't know. I really felt like they did a good job of drawing you in, of making you feel close and comfortable with them.
so you don't have a problem with performances for the right reasons, right?
No, I can't think of a problem with a good close-up performance. Something that
Right,
really
close up.
engages all of the senses.
Right. And but Songda, what senses would those be? I say moving closer.
Well, of course, there's touch and the visual aspect of it all, and he lifts a blossom you don't know where it came from up to his nose and says, "Of course, smell is such a strong link to memories." It's one of those flowers from Huyaoshi.
And then we cut back to last time when Iron Lotus threw the flower into
Yeah.
the rain last time. Oh, right. I do recognize that flower. Were you taken by this particular performer?
Oh, well, I mean, the skill that he displayed, the way that he put words together into word structures.
Right. Sentences. You know
Sentence.
about
I
sentences.
it's right there on the
Yes.
tip of my. I want to say No.
Tongue? I say moving
Yes.
closer. Is that it?
Tongue. That's it.
Right. It did seem like he was very, very interested in you. And it's hard not to see why, but maybe we should be a little careful with this troop. I mean, with this murder and all. We don't know what's going on exactly.
Well, surely it wouldn't be the performers, though. I mean, people dedicated to art and words in that way.
And Iron Lotus looks a little sad and says, the beautiful thing about performance is that there's always something to hide. There's always an illusion of some kind, even if it's for a good reason. You can't trust someone who's not truthful.
Inner conflict.
Oh, gosh. It's like, no. It's like trying to like inch my way around it. No. Okay. All right.
Like, I think you are
Sometimes
admitting like what's at the core of this is, and Songda is a figure of truth, and you are a performer and a liar. Maybe.
It's
What do you want to
true,
roll
it's
that
true.
with?
I'm gonna. I'm like so turmoiled. Um, I'm gonna say, it's my worst stat, but I'm being honest, I feel very passionate in this moment. Damn, so
Roll with
difficult.
fire.
Okay, let's roll. Okay. Wow. Even before the -1, it was a bad roll.
So
I'm
the
a
good news
5.
is, A, you get to roll like a mark an XP for inner conflict, and then you get to mark XP on a miss. And then door comes swinging open, and you will see this figure, this woman, kind of tall in armor, kind of standing there. Iron Lotus!
Yeah,
And Rising
yeah,
Phoenix is there. I've been looking all over for you.
of course.
Sangda, hello. Hello, Sangda. Greetings. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I think
No,
as Iron
no.
Lotus turns, his hand gets like caught in part of Sogda's hair, and there's a like tug back and forth. Ow! No, it's fine. You weren't interrupting everything. You're always welcome.
Iron Lotus, I'm sorry. You've been out of town for a while, and you're back, and I
Yes. I'm the thing is I'm like talking to Rising Phoenix, but I'm like looking at Songda while I'm doing it. Yes, I'm here now. Is there something I could help you with as I try to untangle myself from the long, luxurious, distracting hair?
and she'll say, it's a it's a private matter. And then
Oh,
she'll kind of look at Songda as if to say, go.
Yes, I can understand why you would want to discuss a private matter in private in my room.
If you insist.
Oh no! I please don't let me stop you. The two of you
Good.
should definitely.
Come on. Kind of drags Iron Lotus in Songda, and then kind of
yeah. The
shuts
last shot is Iron Lotus reaching out.
I'll just
and she'll go. Have you heard anything from your sister?
Course, right. And there's this like overflowing guilt because I haven't been my real self for a long time. She's been, you know how frail and feminine she is, very weak.
Is she sick?
In
I'll make something like a soup or a broth.
Oh, I think she'd like that very
Oh,
much.
go.
I
What like she's not allergic to anything, is she?
Oh, she's um and then I stop for a moment. I think she'd like something sweet from you, maybe.
A sweet soup. Yes. Yes, yes. So she is at your household?
Yes, because I said she was sick, so of course she has to be at home because it would be unsafe for a young, frail woman to be anywhere else. But why don't I go ahead and make sure everything is prepared for your arrival, Rising Phoenix?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yams. Yams. That's it. A yam soup.
Right.
Good.
Yes.
Good. It's all right. All right. I must go.
Yes. And so sorry, apparently. But I will see you shortly, Rising Phoenix. I mean, my sister will. I mean, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'll see you. And I'm going to cut away from that. Uh,
I just want to say real quick that like when they go to open the door and slide it back open, Songda definitely wasn't leaning in trying to listen at the door. That was just a very natural pirouette that he was doing away from the door, coincidentally at the same time that they were.
Song Da, you're a man of wisdom and intelligence.
Yes.
Grabs your shoulder.
Yes.
Come with me to the market.
Oh, please.
And she will drag you along with her. And she says, I have to buy yams, but I don't know what yams are good.
I've had yams.
Good. Most excellent. Are you a historian of yams?
No. I mean, unless they were a famous fighter.
And she'll stop and she'll go, was there a famous fighter that was a yam? Were they
No,
turned into a
that's
yam? Or were they a
well,
yam that was turned into a person?
there was the spear saint that was killed by a soup of bad yams.
Yes. Well, tell me that story as we go shopping.
It began with a large bowl.
And I'm going to cut there. Chow Lin. There's this delightful mystery dangling in front of you. There are things going on in town. You also know that your ex-girlfriend is in town. You've been set to a task. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I probably should go. I've been putting it off for a while. Yeah, I should go talk to Sister Lucian, and I think I think the problem isn't so much that she's my ex-girlfriend, as that I was under the impression that her feelings for me were much better than they were. um, and at some point she uh, made it clear that that was not the case. um, and that's when I left.
So I imagine that there is an inn that members of the Historian Society, at least you know, Sister Lucian is given to staying at, and I think you will come in, and it's early, and you will kind of step through, and you can see into the garden, and you will see Sister Lucian seated there. She has her historian's notebook in front of her. She has some other papers. She has that calligraphy brush, you know, that she's holding, and drinking tea. And there is a bit where you see her stop and very slowly turns and sees you.
um, Hello, good morning.
If it is not Chow Lin,
It is.
please, won't you come and join me?
Yes, of course.
What
Uh,
what is it that would bring you here?
so I, out of character, do not remember exactly why Song Da wanted me to ask her.
Song Da, do you want to sum that up for Chow Lin?
Yes. I know that the Bureau of Legends has progressed from suspicious of the Blue Mountain sect to, I suspect, making some sort of move against the Blue Mountain sect. But I also think that they're trying to keep me out of the loop because I'm too involved or whatever. So I'd like you to try and find out what the plans are, what the attitude is.
Okay. Okay. So I probably shouldn't mention you if they're deliberately trying to keep you out of the loop.
I think in most contexts, if you're trying to keep Sister Lucian calm, not mentioning me is
Got
pretty
it.
good.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, fortunately, I have been hired as a bodyguard and assistant to Blue Mountain Scholar. And I have
Interesting. I was not aware that you had even returned to town. How long have you been in the employ of the Blue Mountain Scholar?
only a few days. I've also heard rumors of this some enmity between the what's the historian group? The Bureau of Legends. That's it. The Bureau of Legends and the Blue Mountain sect, and I'd like to know what I've just gotten myself into.
So we have not seen each other in some time. I considered you a friend, and you left without saying a word, without giving me any sense of what you were going, of what was happening, and left me to worry and wonder. And now you appear on my doorstep, as it were. No explanation, no apology.
I am sorry I didn't realize that you would worry and wonder, and I also didn't intend to be gone as long as I was.
Quite a long time. Why don't you make an inner conflict roll now, Chow? I think
Okay.
that she's
Yeah.
kind
No,
of pushing
fair.
on you on this.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then we'll go to the hearts and minds.
Okay. Let's see here.
What do you want to roll that with? Anything but water.
Okay. I think I'm trying to go for caution, focus, and presence.
Okay.
So
That seems fair.
that's a flat roll. Oh, 8. That's not
That
bad.
is an 8. So you can withdraw, sort of obviously, or you can mark that earth to keep yourself steady.
Yeah, since she is currently kind of complaining about how I previously left without saying anything, and also Sangda expects answers, I gotta stay and I'll mark her.
Okay. So what is your approach? Is it a soft approach of trying to convince her with hearts and minds that she ought to tell you something? Or is this study in the kind of back and forth of the conversation, trying to discern facts?
I think this is. I mean, I just told her what I wanted to know, so I think it's too late to try to like work around it and try to deduce something. So I think I just ask her, and I took this job. I didn't realize there might be a conflict between the Bureau of Legends and the Blue Mountain Sect. I have worked for the Bureau of Legends in the past. I still have contacts there, including you.
Contact, is it? Go on.
Well, I've worked for the Bureau of Legends before, and I have friends there, including you. And also Songda, and I name a few other people that I've worked for over the years.
What do you want to roll hearts and minds with?
I think probably probably would, even though I have a -1 in it.
Okay. Let's have you roll.
Right, is that? Oh, okay, that's another 8. It's
So it
exactly
becomes
the same roll.
a 7.
But it's a 7, yeah.
There are things I cannot say, but I would suggest that you not entangle yourself with the Blue Mountain Sect. There are issues. I do not know the depth or the specifics of it, but the master of our sect has indicated that there is a problem, and that Blue Mountain Scholar may not be who they say they are.
Yeah. Has he done something? He seems. Well, honestly, I wondered if he'd been sick. He seems to have aged, but seems trustworthy.
I am telling you what I know, and I'm going to say again, I think you should. You do not want to be involved with this. Please. Why don't you write in a bond with Sister Lucian?
Okay.
That's that was, by the
Yeah,
way, the equivalent
okay.
of her overreacting.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Well, she still likes me enough to try to warn me away, so I consider that positive.
Perhaps we will speak again.
Yes, yes, we will.
If you see Song Da, please give my regards to him.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
She will return to her writing.
Cool, cool.
Bao Shi.
Oh my, how tense that was. Oof. I think I will have sent out feelers to see if I can arrange a meeting with First Orchid.
And you will. I think that's no problem. That you actually have to kind of send it up to the Verdant Sword Alliance, the HQ, because her friend is there, and she will arrange to meet with you later in the day, and she will come in, and she will go, "Oh, my fellow detective.
Ah, it is good to see you again, First Orchid.
It is good to see you. Perhaps before we begin, I should say I did not do it. It was not me. I had no involvement. I had no sense of me being the person involved with anything. So there, let's a blanket statement, if I may.
This time I come asking for a favor.
Well, it was Blue Mountain Scholar and yourselves that pulled me out of that dungeon, as it were. So I certainly owe you a great deal, Master Baushi.
Well, I appreciate that. I need to find out a little information about someone and perhaps an organization that you may have passing familiarity with. And if you're interested, perhaps also hire you on as another set of eyes for a different matter. But my primary concern is, do you know the name Nan Shinji and the Vermilion Raccoons?
Oh, I know the Vermilion Raccoons by reputation. They live in Bad Valley.
Yes, that's what I've heard. A friend of mine has become involved with this Nan, a member of the
It isn't
Raccoon.
Song Da. He seemed like the kind of person who would fall into that sort of thing.
No, not this time. No, it's a friend well, you may have been. Yes. Do you remember Guard Captain Lin?
Yes, I'm well acquainted with Guard Captain Lin, yes.
He has, through, I cannot imagine what sort of loss of all senses, become somewhat involved with someone that, at least from what I understand, is a disreputable person.
And what is it precisely, Master Baoshi, that you would like me to do?
I would.
You want me to break them up? That's a very interesting proposal. I'm game for that.
Well, no. This Nan has disappeared. And I think that they are in the process of doing some of these burglaries, right? You don't happen to know anything about these burglaries that are happening, are you? That one you wasn't.
As I said, it was not me. I had no part in it. It was no role whatsoever. No.
I think they may have something to do with these burglaries. And if I could get a lead on maybe where they're holding up or what associates, anything that you could pick up from the streets about them would be tremendously helpful.
Well, it is early in the day. Let me ask around town amongst my contacts now, and we'll meet a little bit later in the day, and I will give you an answer to some of your questions. How does that sound?
That is very good. Thank you so much.
Master Baoshi, You have two choices here.
Mhm.
If this is you solving this particular mystery, we can do that move. Or if you think this is a study to gather information, to ask some things about Nanjingji and the whole thing, we can do that.
I mean,
It
I
is
feel
up to
sort of.
you.
I know. I feel sort of bad, like solving a mystery of these burglaries with those being ongoing. But
If you make the roll with your eccentric expert, then
uh-huh.
he has no that he will not have anything to do with those burglaries,
Ooh.
because you are solving a crime that is not tied to the case. So
And the burglaries are part of the case.
the burglary is a part of the case. It's one of the facets we have.
Okay. Oh, yes. All right.
So it's up to you.
So I could solve the reason of the disappearance.
Yes. Do you wish to do that?
Yeah, I think I do.
Then let's have you roll.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to roll with. This is going to be getting all the information. This will be metal. Calculation, figuring it out from all the things I've heard.
Okay.
Rolling +2, 2 dice. Ah! The dice are hating me tonight. I haven't rolled a success yet. That is a 5.
So the good news is you get to mark XP.
Oh, thank goodness.
The bad news is she returns back, and I'm modifying the hard move on this a little bit.
All right.
So I have some good news and some bad news.
All right. What news do you have?
So the good news is that this Nang Jingyi is not involved with the robberies, and he's also on the outs with his people from Bad Valley.
I see.
Apparently, he's had a change of heart, and he has and you see her hesitate. So he has apparently fallen in love and given up his life of crime, and so he's being sort of hunted by his former fellows, and he's gone into hiding because he doesn't want to bring danger to his beloved.
How noble. Okay. Well, thank you very much for finding that information out for me. It is most enlightening.
Here is where he's hiding. She'll hand you his address. That's where he's hiding out right now.
Thank you for storing it. I really do appreciate your efforts.
Absolutely. Now let's have you roll that inner conflict.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mercy. I roll that with a something, don't I?
Yes, you roll that with anything but your style element.
All right. Oh, did I mark metal when I failed there?
No, I think I already gave you a hard enough move on that one.
You did kick me right in the gut. Okay, for inner conflict. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna
Okay.
be, yeah. That's a 5.
That is a 5. And she'll say, there was something else like I should probably mention in passing here.
Yes, please do.
It may be that these people from Bad Valley may have picked up who is Nan's beloved.
What?
I'm not sure 100%, but just there's a possibility of that.
I see. You will see yourself out. Don't take anything. And I go
Now
running
I
out
have
the
to.
door.
Song Da, let's come to you.
Yes. So you say Iron Lotus asked you to make this soup?
Well, yes.
That was what you had to talk about in my rooms.
Well, it's a private
Alone.
conversation, so I wouldn't want to say what we talked about.
No, and of course I wouldn't want to intrude on a private
personal matters.
conversation
Personal
that
matters.
didn't wish to share.
Yeah, you understand.
But I mean, of course, if you did,
matters of the heart.
Yes, that seems very important. But of course, if you felt like you needed someone to confide in, maybe your secrets or plans or those moments when you think about your inner nature and realize that you're not really worthy of the things that have been given to you in your life, anything like that.
Yeah, mostly I'm thinking about yams right now.
Sorry, I just heard Tyler laughing off screen. Oh. Uh-huh. Yams.
You want to help me peel these?
I'm having trouble thinking of a good reason not to.
Then all the more reason to sit here and join me in some yam peeling. And perhaps we can swap stories.
Oh, good. So this is happening now.
Yes. So, you're familiar with the Iron Lotus's household, right?
I've known Iron Lotus for a while now, yes?
Okay. Just checking.
You, I take it, aren't very familiar with his personal life. You distant friend, sort of vague acquaintance level.
I like to think that we are close, like I hope, like family at some point.
Oh, really? You think that close?
If I will speak honestly, that is my dream.
Oh, you do seem to speak honestly a lot.
It's one of my best features.
Is that what people tell you?
Very much so.
Huh. So I'm sorry. What was the soup for exactly?
Oh, Iron Lotus's sister is ill, and she wanted a delicious sweet soup. So I thought a yam soup, butter, some molasses and brown sugar and the things, and a little bit of thickener would be good.
Yes. My aunt used to make the most amazing yam soup.
What?
Delicious. I felt like it could cure me from anything. and you know what the secret that she always
She puts
said?
her hands on your shoulder. Tell me the secret of the soup.
I'm
must
telling
know!
you. I'm doing it now.
Oh, sorry. Became excited by the tuber possibilities.
She said that you really have to take your time with it. Like anything
Oh,
less
that's not
than
my strong
12
suit.
hours of yam cooking.
12
And it
hours?
just won't be 12 hours at least of yam cooking. Carefully watched yam cooking, or else it just ruins the entire flavor profile and the healing energies inherent in the yams.
Hmm. I guess I'll just have to buy some soup then.
Are you sure? We've already peeled so many yams.
Hearts and minds. What do you want to roll that with, Songda?
I don't know. I have to make this work because, of course, if she gives up on making this long, intricate soup and goes off to just buy soup, that will foil my plan of going off to buy soup for Iron Lotus's sister while she's stuck making this long soup.
Curse you, himbo!
um, I think this is water. This is me trying to constantly stretch around every one of Rising Phoenix's excuses to just go bounding out the door and take care of it right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay, a 9.
I am frugal. I've been told. I don't want
And
to waste
such a
these.
good quality that is.
It is. It is a good quality. It is a virtue that is important. A heroic virtue, one might even say. Damn my moral compass. You're right. I must finish these yams. Tell me in detail. Oh wait, no. You don't have to tell me. You're a scholar, and you can write it down for me. Write down this recipe for me.
Yes, that's what I'll do. Pulls out the paper, begins writing furiously as quickly as he can.
Yes. Oh, quite a few characters there. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. And she'll grab your hand. Songda, I consider you a friend. I consider you a brother. I thank you for your aid and assistance in this. You are truly worthy of your name and role as a member of the House of Legends.
Come on.
I thank you. I thank you so much.
I'm so happy I could help you.
I hope that I can only be someday as much of a help to you as you have been here to me.
I have to murder. There's murders.
Oh, don't let me keep you. I must set to this soup.
Yes,
It is my task.
It's such a good
You
task.
have yours. I have mine.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go out this way.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
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 You have okay. I'm closing the door now.
Okay.
Okay. And as soon as the door closes, he just like turns on his heel, runs straight at a railing, and does the full like lightness wire fu leap off straight towards the nearest shop stand or stall.
Absolutely. Blue Mountain Scholar. Let's have you unmute yourself.
All right, that seems reasonable to ask me to
Okay.
do that. Yeah, so I think she sort of carefully, uh, you know, packs all of her Blue Mountain Scholar stuff up, uh, puts it to the side there, and actually goes and you kind of get this montage of her pulling out all of her nice dresses. There's the one that you've seen her wearing when she's reading her poetry. Another one that looks like it's even fancier in some ways, like more girly, where the scholar one or the poet one does look like a very feminine scholar's robe and everything. And then she takes out sort of her Wulin dress, and she's sort of standing there between the three of them trying to decide. And she finally takes the more Wulin one, the one that, you know, in theory you could fight in. And it's also because she can't compete with the merchant's daughters and all of that stuff. So if she's Wulin, this will look good. So she doesn't have to worry about that. And then she's like, it's this whole thing of like where you get the feeling for the first time she's trying to figure out how she's going to do this to like look really good this evening. And so she like goes, well, I'm gonna need, she said, I have to go shopping. And so she's scribbling a list down, and she goes, oh, you know, because I am certain that I saw the Gusheng Jane Fee, Gusheng, the merchant there. Is that his name?
Yes.
Yes.
Jean Fei.
Yeah. And his shop is, he's a local merchant, but it's kind of like a real interesting bazaar, isn't it? With like things that come and go.
It's a crossroads.
Yeah, it's a crossroads. So I'll go there to see if I can find some like a hair thing or a bracelet or something that would look good with what I'm doing. But also check in with him about what he thought of last evening.
So you will go there. You have a note from your uncle, essentially of credit, covering that. He will arrive there, and Gucheng will come out, and he will say, "Oh, you are our Blue Mountain Scholar's niece. I saw the venerable sage last night."
Yes, he was not pleased with how things rolled out. I think he's going to be
Who
very
would be?
grumpy. Exactly.
It makes me worried. Makes me very worried. But yes, let me have you come and he'll walk you through some of the things he has: beautiful hairpins and lovely combs and things like that. And my granddaughter loves this particular piece. You might enjoy that.
And you know, and I will essentially be trying that. And I was like, I would say, all of those things that happened there happened so long ago. It seems strange that she kind of says, she goes, do you think it has anything to do with what happened back 15 years ago?
You mean this swordsman's death?
Yes, it seems strange, but there was a lot of gossip about it.
What you will learn, as I have, is that the members of the Jianghu of the Wulin world, they turn up dead all the time. It's a thing that happens, a perpetual
kind of
thing.
Nods. And she goes, yes.
But there are too many people who think that there is some sort of ghost involved. I heard someone say that there were scratches like the ghost cat.
It just sounds like someone really wants that to be the story.
That is absurd. And I think it is someone attempting to bring some upset to this opening, which would seem premature to me.
What do you mean by premature?
Look, here is my belief.
All right.
I think that Master Gongzi is an idiot. A very, very well dressed and very loud, and very wealthy idiot. The death of his parents put a great deal of money in his hands, and one would hope that over time a certain maturity would have come from that, but it has not. And I believe that he will fail spectacularly. But I don't want it to happen too soon because I can't take advantage of it. I have money significantly tied up with Banshan's operation. I'm hoping to have that come to fruition. There were a certain amount of money that he was to give to me that he has put off because of this, that I would very much like. So I do need him to succeed enough to pay me those.
Ooh.
And then when he fails, I will swoop in.
Ah, very clever. But who would want him to fail so early then?
That is an entirely different question, and not one that is one for your uncle.
Hmm. And she goes, "Can I tell you something?
Oh, tell me. This is gossipy.
It is terribly gossipy. And it's about
Oh.
other merchants." And
Oh.
she will mention the other two merchants. She goes, "They had a burglary. But whoever went there, they were not looking for something to steal. They were looking for trapdoors."
Why don't you make a study roll for me here now?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to roll water on this again.
Okay.
So it gives me a 7.
All right. So you have one hold. You may ask a question or make a declaration.
When I mentioned the other merchants, he reacts immediately. You know, he does react, and I and he tells me something about them. I think that he knows.
Those two that you mentioned are amongst a small gaggle of merchants, and I use the word loosely.
Well, gaggle is usually for geese.
A group of merchants that arrived here about 15 years ago with some significant capital each of them had. They do not associate with one another, conspicuously do not. And I know that amongst that group of 5, 2 of them have gone missing in the last few days. I know that Magistrate Dalan and some of the others are trying to keep that quiet.
Certainly, she did not say anything to my uncle, or at least he did not mention it to me.
No. Again, I think this is a the two places, the two houses of these merchants that vanished, they found unusual cat scratches at the doors to each of them. That's what I heard from a cousin's cleaning person who was there at the scene. Well, their friend of theirs was at the scene that day.
Really? And she kind of stops and says, friend of the friend. And she goes, that is a brilliant thing. I will. And she goes, that certainly ties back to the Golden House. Isn't that silly? But that story, they've been pushing it so hard. Oh, someone's covering something up, aren't they?
Yes, I don't know what's going on, but
I'm glad you're not involved.
Oh, absolutely. I'm absolutely not. I'm completely on the up and up.
She goes, absolutely.
Yes.
That's why I'm picking this bracelet.
Yes. A fine choice.
It is. It will look excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I think she's sort of pleased, and she sort of stops and says, you said they all came together. Was that right after the house burned down, the Golden House, or was it before that?
It's been 50. It's so long. So there might be provincial records that I would have the datings on that, but I couldn't say.
All right, I will go and check. Thank you.
You're welcome. Iron Lotus, you are back at your house. You've cleaned things up. You've gotten changed into your other self. And again, what is your other self's name?
Golden Peony.
Golden Peony. So you're there kind of waiting. You've made yourself up a little bit to look a little bit pale, a little wan. So the whole sick thing. And one of the servants will come in and will say, there's a caller for you.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Please let them in.
And Song Da, you will be shown in to see Golden Peony. Song Da is there with a cauldron of soup.
Master Song Da, it has been a long time.
Golden Peony, I think he's having an inner conflict moment here at the actual cusp of doing the lie.
Fair enough. What do you want to roll that with?
Yeah, I think this is metal. This is his calculating control side.
Okay.
Jesus. 12 minus 1.
You are absolutely on it. You have no hesitation. You went and got this goddamn soup. You're gonna make it count. Maybe if you can get Iron Lotus here and he can see you maybe feeding Golden Peony the soup, like caring for her.
Oh, I had heard from your brother that you were sick, and I went out and got these very healing, delicious soups just for you. Looking around, wide-eyed, I'd heard you were so incapacitated.
Yes, I can. As you can see, I can barely stand up, and so there's a moment where like Golden Peony like tries to force herself to stand up and like sort of like falls towards Songda and catches on his shoulder.
Oh no! Oh, careful! You wouldn't want to. Do you smell that?
Smell what? I'm
It. Anyways, you must be. I was thinking, of course, that your brother would be around to help take care of you.
Yes, my brother is a very good and caring person who, of course, would care for his sick sister. I can go get him if you like.
He is a dear soul, and I can't imagine he would do anything but do his best to take care of you while you're sick.
It's true. And
No,
unfortunately, I'm
please don't bother yourself by getting up.
right. Of course. I'm going to roll my shadow boxing move.
Okay.
Uh, so my shadow boxing move is, let's see, I'll read it. Oh my gosh, I hope this works. Okay. A secret group or order aids you. You may not be aware of their assistance. Once per session, you can flash back to some preparation, interference, or negotiation they've done on your behalf. And I think last time we saw them, they were pretending to be Songda. So
Oh, yeah.
Multiple song does.
that was because it
Very
went wrong. So
traumatic.
this time I'm hoping to have one of them take my place as the sickly golden peony, and I can switch back to
Okay.
Iron Lotus to see if we can pull this off. That's the plan. Okay. So let's see. I think which element is this? I think it's me just knowing things would go wrong. I think it's like my intuition that was like, there's no way this would be as simple as like Rising Phoenix coming over, hence the ridiculous preparation ahead of time. Okay. Okay. 10.
An old woman comes in. Oh, golden peony, you seem feverish and flush. You, young man.
Oh,
Yes, you.
me? I wasn't doing. I was just bringing.
Go
soup.
out to the courtyard. There is a well
Okay.
there. Draw a bucket of fresh cold water from there.
Oh, yes, very very refreshing. That makes sense.
Yes, just do that.
I'll just go now to get a refreshing bucket of water for the poor invalided golden peony.
Yeah, you should go now. We'll see you in a moment.
Okay, I'm doing that.
Okay, golden peony. Okay, quick. Oh, here, give me that. I'll be feverish. I'll lay here feverish. That way I won't have to do anything else, and you can care for me. Here's cold compress.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You come back,
Just
Songda. Golden Peony is prostrate on the bed, overcome. There's a cold compress on her face, and you will see that Iron Lotus is there, tenderly mopping the brow of his sister.
Oh, Iron Lotus. What a coincidence.
Cough.
There's a moment where I was yes, I thank you so much for coming by, Songda. It is so generous and kind of you.
Yes, I brought soup and and water for poor golden peony's parched throat.
Yes, so parched that she must not speak whatsoever, and she must.
That does sound horrifying.
Yes,
and he'll come over to like hand Iron Lotus the bucket of water there, since he's kneeling right over her, and as he's leaning down over Iron Lotus's shoulder, he gives sort of, oh,
Is there something wrong? Did I offend you,
no,
Sangha?
I just, no, of course, I just thought I smelled something, not something bad. It's probably soup.
Soup. And then like Sangha leans over to like try to smell at the soup and like pulls back his hair. But it smells wonderful. It's
Oh, it's actually chilled. It's cream and berries in this delightfully velvety sort of concoction. It's all the most healing and nutritious, but strangely, the stallman said sweetest berries possible.
oh sweet. I my sister loves sweets, but I should have a little taste just to make sure it's the appropriate amount of sweetness for her. Too much can be bad thing. And then Iron Lotus like sips at it and just has this moment of like, this is really good. This is
Oh,
like,
oh no, your face has it turned bad? He
oh
assured me
no,
it was fresh today.
oh no, I just as a man, I have difficulty consuming sweet things. You understand, of course.
Oh, that makes sense. You are very masculine.
Oh, yes. Yes. But my sister, it is of course
Yes, your
appropriate for her.
sister, your poor sick sister that I've come to. I told you about the soup already. I hope you're feeling well in all of this.
And I think there's a moment where Iron Lotus looks at you, even though he's like feeding his sister, and says, as long as you are by my side, Songda, it feels like there is no burden that is too heavy to carry.
Yes, I'm happy to step in when you or your family needs help. I'll be the first one here for you.
And I reach over and touch your hand and say, I hope you know that I would do the same for you as well, Songda. You are a priority to me. You are very important.
Oh, then thank you.
I think I'm going to cut that there, if I may. I want to give another little chance. But I think that's a good tableau to end that on. Chow Lin, after you've had this interaction with Sister Lushan, what do you do?
Well, I need to find out for myself if um Blue Mountain Scholar is if there's something up with him. Because, you know, I don't think so, but if it's not true, then I like want to be able to prove it. And if it is, I should probably know about that.
Then I think that when you go to Blues Mountain Scholar's house, it is as Janai is returning back from her trip and investigation, and Janai, you will see Chow Lin kind of clearly heading towards your house.
And yeah, let's see, have I met Chow Lin yet? I have not, have I?
You might have like a long time ago, like you were probably a kid last time you saw Jolene.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I think she will sort of like kind of watch you go into the garden, like the garden by the house, and then she'll come in and she'll sort of look at you. You can see this thing, and she'll go, Chow-Lin?
Oh, you must be
I'm
You're Martin
Janai.
Sculler's niece?
Yeah, she
You've
gives me bet.
you've grown.
Yes, I
Oh.
did. She goes, you
I'm-
look, well,
I
you used to be a
I'm-
lot taller.
You used to be a lot shorter.
Yes, yes, I was.
It's nice to see you again. I'm glad to see you're well. I'm here looking for your uncle. Is he all right?
Yeah. She goes, Hugh was going to go and look into the burglaries. He's convinced that those are an important part of the investigation. I think he also found it very uncomfortable at the Golden House.
What do you mean?
How to say? He said that only part of what was going on there.
That yes. I'm sure someone. Can you tell me?
Do you want to come in?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I was going to make lunch.
Your uncle is. I haven't been gone. Or I've been gone for, I don't know, let's say 7 years. So it's been a while. But has he been sick during that time? He seems smaller, more frail.
And she sort of stops and she goes, he seems to be able to do all the things that he always was able to. I think sometimes he just uses that to his advantage because he's gotten like old now. He's a big one for getting the maximum response that he can. Sympathy works for him.
I see. Yeah, has he? Do you know if he might be involved in?
You seem worried about something, Chow. He's involved in 100,000 secret things. He is a magistrate and a scholar. He knows many things. What are you worried about? Please let me know.
There seems to be some conflict between your uncle and the Bureau of Legends.
She sort of stops and says, my uncle has not told me much, but he has mentioned that in his investigations, some of the Wulin have gone missing. And he has mentioned that signs of the Bureau keep showing up.
I think they're suspicious that he's doing something underhanded.
And I think that is how he feels about them as well. Oh, do you think it is going to come to something?
Don't know. I hope not. I would hate for two factions that I have friends in to fight each other.
What do you mean factions?
Well, your sect and the Bureau of Legends.
And she sort of steps back and she goes, So it's not just my great uncle, it's the sect.
It seems to be. I don't have clear answers. I don't know what anyone did to make the other group suspicious of them. I don't know exactly what's behind all of this. I do know that some of the Bureau of Legends are suspicious that your uncle is involved in something or is not who he seems to be or not what he seems to be, and is that I hope he's not in danger.
I do too, but his danger and the idea of a conflict between the Blue Mountain sect and the Bureau are two completely different things.
Yes.
Do you have any sense of where in the Bureau this is coming from?
I don't remember who did Sister Lujan tell me was kind of in charge, or
Oh, you're muted.
It was mentioned before that, and I could go back here to.
or did Sangda say something about it? I don't remember.
Let me get the name here. I have to go back further. Geez, where is that name? NPC do. Indigo Judgment is the Bureau of Legends clan leader.
Okay.
Indigo Judgment, he was at the last place where the last Secret of the Puzzle sword, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
And she sort of, as soon as you say that name, she goes, "Thank you for telling me."
Um,
And she kind of goes, "This is very bad."
do you have any idea why what might have started this?
You were not here? But the last case that my uncle was on, where Indigo Judgment was, involved a scandal, a set of secrets that went very high up, very, very high up. I do not think that Indigo Judgment was privy to how that was solved out. And I suspect that my uncle's investigations into his missing comrades has what do you say? The Bureau is involved in a lot of things, and what they say, people believe it is the truth. They're very powerful for that. If my uncle is stumbling over those things that suggest that their truth is not so truthful, and it goes that high, I will leave a signal for my uncle. He will leave.
And I think we're going to kind of pull that camera back on that interaction. I want to give Tyler a chance if there's something you want to set up as a scene, like so that we can kind of maybe lean into it to at the start of next session or something. Like what would you like to do here?
If you'll give me, I think you set me up for something. I want to resolve an entanglement.
Sure.
Might be quick. Said interrupt me. You might have plans to do nasty things. I think I'm fixing to kick myself in the gut.
Okay.
We see me run out. I go to the address I get. There's probably not even sound as I find none. There is this interaction, this speaking I would have used, trying to figure out connections. See, does he truly love Lynn? If it is true, I send a token, that token that I got.
He stops you.
Uh-oh.
Guard Captain Lynn has changed me. My interactions, my time with him have changed me, but I know that I can never be with him. They will never stop hunting me, and he will always be in danger. I must beg of you, and he grabs your hands. I must beg of you a favor.
What?
You must tell him that I am dead. I will go away. I must. If I stay, they have connections that go high. I do not think I could ever get him out from under this shadow.
You already hound his footsteps. I can help the two of you leave.
I cannot ask him to go. I cannot. I am not who he thinks I am. And it is better this way.
Much for love.
Hearts and minds, Bao Shi.
All right. I've been thinking on this, so I think this is metal.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I got to get out of history. Do you know, I had 6 fails I've rolled so far tonight. But I rolled an 11 this time, giving me a 13.
I think he'll turn to you. I think we're going to do the end line to tell me what I must do. And I think we'll cut there and we'll kind of start out figuring out what that is next time. Does that seem fair?
That seems fair. And if I can, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my new entanglement.
100%. Exactly. Yeah, I want to give you the opportunity to do that. We'll kind of, do a thing next time to show how that gets resolved. Bao Shi, let's look at these things. We're going to look at that.
Boy, I got an assload of XP already tonight.
Yeah. I think you hit your romantic, but not necessarily your general.
Yeah.
So let's give you 2 for that.
Okay.
Song Da, I think we got your romantic, but not your general.
Yeah, a lot of other people played around in the general, and I definitely want to get to that next time.
Okay. So 2 points for you. Blue Mountain Scholar. Let's see. I think we got no, I don't think we hit either of those.
I realized that pretty much I have to put something in that's the conflict between being Blue Mountain Scholar and myself, and
I think you could do that with your general. I think kind of revise that to do something with that.
Okay.
Iron Lotus, I think we hit your romantic like a gong a couple of times. So 2 points. And I think also 2 points for Chow Lin. Let's do a quick round of stars and wishes just to kind of say what we liked, but also things that we want to see. Blue Mountain Scholar, can I start with you? You're muted.
Let's see. Stars and wishes. Everyone was pretty spectacular with their uncomfortable and comedic romantic option or situations. Lots of heartbreak for Tyler and Chow Lin. which was cool to see. And Sangda and Iron Lotus are a travesty. And I I feel sorry for everyone that's in their path. Always. But I'm sure that it will come out wonderful at the end. And let's see here. And I really, uh, I liked a lot of the NPCs we got to see today. Don Jingi was quite charming and a good twist to the gut. And yeah, it was just kind of a fun time to watch all of the things going on. Wishes, I hope that I can get my my entanglements better. My stuff is often about other people that I'm just not intersecting with the group in those ways. Just because I have all of these duties or whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to sort of push things more towards going, okay, so the big thing that I'm always dealing with is, you know, Blue Mountain Scholar versus what I want to do as an I think is kind of it. Like,
yeah. We'll
what's
look at
my
the
life?
in between this and next session, or at the start of the session, we'll look at those entanglements and see how we can modify those
Yep.
to make them hit with the triggers that
Yep.
you're hitting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Iron Lotus.
So I really loved how we hit the ground running with the mystery. It feels very cool. I like how we have it felt like a very good set of pacing, like we were super into it, and then we let things like open up and go into details later. The nice thing about having 5 players is I feel less pressured to pick up clues. I'm like, I picked up one today, I have done my duty. so so I get to focus on other things. It was really great. And I really think, Lowell, you've perfected Rising Phoenix as a himbo, because there's like a distinct difference between a himbo and a bimbo and a thembo, and like I think you really like hit how Rising Phoenix is a himbo. It was very cute. I love seeing poor Sangda like suffering with the yams. It was such a good scene. It was so good. And I always feel like when Patrick and I are in the scene, it's like, who's gonna roll inner conflict first? Like last time I was like, can I get Patrick to roll it first? And it was like, no, it's me. I'm the one walking in talking about truth and stuff. And so I almost died when Patrick walked in and was like, yeah, I'm gonna roll inner conflict right now. I was like, oh, okay. That's really good. I also really like how there's like such a good spectrum of what's going on between the different scenes and the different characters. It was really enjoyable. I love seeing Tyler suffer. It's really good stuff. Poor Baoshi being like, I will fight for the two of you. Like, wow, what a good person. Baoshi is a much better person than Iron Lotus is. Iron Lotus cannot be that selfless. So, but yeah, and I really like seeing Shaolin also suffer. It was also really good. So there's a lot of delightful suffering all around that I really enjoyed from numerous angles. So yeah, I'm really, in terms of wishes, let's see. I think we've like hit a good introduction. I feel like I can't think of a wish right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just looking forward to more. It was very, very good stuff.
Awesome. Shaolin.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone pretty much covered. I still love the awkward attempts to be 2 different people at once. Both situations where someone is trying to be 2 different people at once, and the leaning into the like the complications there, and I like I like watching the conflict, especially with the Blue Mountain Scholar and last song Janai, like and I think that's a good idea to make that your make that an entanglement, because it's like, oh, here's all of my uncle's duties, and also I want to just be a person and like have my own life. But I think it's a really interesting conflict. And yeah, I haven't even like done anything at all with my general conflict or entanglement. So I guess my wish is to maybe hit on that. But like that's a thing that I'll have to find a way to bring in.
Okay. Well, we've got Rising Phoenix on stage. So
Yeah, Rising Phoenix has appeared.
yes.
Loudly and colorfully.
Absolutely. We'll get them in there. They may have to come for you for yam help. I need somebody to help watch this. It's got to cook for 12 hours. And I've got things to do. Bao Shi.
Great session. Everybody was really on top of it with a lot of fun stuff, as always. Song and Lotus / Peony. Oh my god, that's always amazing. I loved Sick Peony. Oh, that was so fun to see. And Song Da in the yes, I care about you deeply. Where's your brother? That was great. That scene with Chow and alternate Blue Mountain Scholar. I'm sorry, Sheer. I can't remember your girl name.
Or Janai.
Oh, Janai. There we are. Janai, you had it written in there. I'm just a bad person that wasn't reading. That was really intense. To see Janai kind of move into okay, this isn't just fun and games. This is really dangerous and important. I could see you playing that, and it was so good. I mean, that's why I love role playing with you, Sherry, is to watch character and that character realizing and going, okay, this has been fun, but no, seriously, what the fuck are you talking about? Was intense and very good. I like seeing Rising Phoenix in there. I loved your portrayal of First Orchid being around. You opened us up with that impresario character being huge, and I love him. We're keeping this quiet, aren't we? Oh, that's phenomenal. For wishes, one, I got a question. Sherry,
sure.
Does it make sense anymore? Is there something you feel that is good growth with my knowing who, as the only one in the group knowing both your sides? Should I keep that entanglement so we can keep playing with it? Will that help you in the space you're in?
Sure. Because I think that probably the next thing that's going to happen is her trying to figure out what she has to do to keep her uncle safe. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
And if it's drawing attention, then that sort of thing. So that's going to be a thing. So yes, I think that's still a good entanglement for us for story, and it's probably what I will write into my things so we can.
Probably, yeah. One of the things that clearly needs to be as a piece of communication there is that there now may be a point where Zanai tells Bao Shi about this tension between the Bureau and Blue Mountain Scholar, because I don't think Bao Shi's aware of that yet.
Because it's been sitting there fallow. We play with it a little, its knowledge, but it's not been an active entanglement. And I felt like both my entanglements have gotten stale, so I wanted to make sure that one we're feeling like it's going to have blossom and go. Yes. And my next one is, I think I want to see the Lynn story move to its place. I think that should happen. It opens up other things, and I think it's a sweet, good moment for it to happen.
Perfect. And a perfect role that you made there to pull that out after so many bad rolls.
I got 7 XP tonight.
Holy moly.
I had 5. I used my ability to take one of my rolls up to a 6 so that I could actually get a 7. Did not pass anything but that last one. And as should be, it taught me I needed to add something to my stats. So I increased my water.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But and my other wish is I've been dancing around the edges of the mystery. I'm looking forward to kind of having Balshi maybe in Rebound from Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Really focus in, and it'd be kind of cool for that opportunity for detective work to be the thing that saves him from heartbreak.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's great. And last but not least, Song Da.
Yeah, this was awesome and ridiculous. All of the many multiple personalities are just fantastically confusingly great. I I love how when Iron Lotus and Song Da are like on opposite sides of the room, they're like, "Yeah, we're being efficient, we're investigating, we're doing stuff." And as soon as they started talking to each other, like both of them just went wildly off, forgot about the mystery. There was something with soup, and I don't even know what was happening. And that just happens every time I interact with Iron Lotus, and it's sort of amazing. Um, I also love that we're continuing to see more growth from Janai this season, and the scene and sort of like budding friendship between Xiaolin and Lost Song Janai was really cool to see. Which is like I said, I feel like we've punched the romantic entanglement in the face a lot here, especially this session. And other people have been doing better about following up on my threatening storyline about the Bureau and the Blue Mountain than I have. So I definitely want to get involved in that next time.
Okay. Thank you all so much. Enjoying this immensely. I'm glad we got some clues on the table. We got some facets there. We'll play, get some more of those on the table next time. I'm going to stop the recording